Every time I use this strategy, I get more saves, clicks, and a spike in my engagement rates. Nobody talks about this strategy anymore as this strategy is not as effective as it once was, but heck, some engagement is better than no engagement, right? Yes, someone just saved my Pinterest pin. I'm talking about group boards. Yeah, those boards that Pinterest marketers share pins to increase engagement. First, I'm going to go over some tips to consider when searching for group boards. Then, I'll show you step by step how I search for and apply to group boards. And I'll shed some light on the one thing you should never do when applying to these nasty group boards. So stick till the end for that. I'm also going to share the exact email template that I used to apply to group boards back in the good old days. Greetings pin people, Rylan here, and let's figure out how to increase engagement, saves, clicks and everything else with group boards. Let's go. My first tip for you is to check the name and the niche of the group board. The name of the group board should be something related to the niche you're interested in. If you're in the personal finance niche, search for group boards with keywords related to personal finance like budgeting tips, how to make money freelancing, or make your money smartly. You should also look at the description and pins of the group board to see if your goals align with that of that board. Don't forget to check the group board owner's profile to see if they're publishing pins in the same niche or not. If the group board talks about personal finance, but on their Pinterest profile, you see pins related to the parenting niche, that's a deviation and you might not want to apply to that group board. The second thing to check is the number of contributors in a group board. A good Pinterest group board has less than 250 contributors. You can apply to bigger group boards, but as a rule of thumb, target group boards less than 250 contributors. More contributors lead to spammy pins and that reduces the quality of your pins. The third tip is to check the active group board members. Let's say we have 75 contributors in the group board and only 2 pin regularly. When contributors of a group board don't contribute enough and only few Pinterest profiles actually contribute, it's probably a shitty board. On the other hand, if there are many contributors contributing regularly but your pins aren't really growing, that means these active contributors aren't repinning your pins and it's probably time to leave the group board. Now let's see how I search for and apply to group boards, ensuring I get accepted most of the time. If you want to apply to group boards on Pinterest, the first and most important thing you need to do is go to pinterest.com. I bet you didn't know that. I love lame jokes. Once you're there, click on the search bar and type keywords related to your niche. So say I'm typing personal finance and hitting enter. Then click on the drop-down menu that says all pins and choose boards. Pinterest will automatically give you a list of all boards in the niche personal finance. Right click on each board and open it in a new tab. Once you have some boards open, I want you to read the description one by one and see how you can apply and get accepted to these group boards, provided there is an option to apply. Most of what you'll see here are boards of popular Pinterest accounts in that niche. These are your account boards and not group boards. You'll have to open each board in a new tab and search for group boards. This is an extremely time-consuming and lengthy process. You could do this, but there's a better way to get the work done. This time, instead of choosing boards in the search bar, we'll click on people, that's right here. You'll get a list of the best Pinterest accounts in that niche. Now, right-click to open a few accounts and check the boards they're in. An easy way to identify if a board is a group board or not is by looking at the right-hand corner of the board. If there are multiple circles with images in it, it means it's a group board. Right-click on these multiple circle boards and read the description. Some group boards have the join button which you can click to join that group board. Others ask you to email them, and some group boards don't accept new contributors. Ignore the ones that don't accept new contributors and focus on the ones with the join button and email options. Most group boards have the Pinterest owner's email address in the description of that group board. If it's not there, go to the group board owner's website and use hunter.io to collect emails. Hunter.io is a Chrome extension used to collect email addresses from any website. If you want to learn how to use hunter.io, check out my video on the best Chrome extensions for Pinterest marketers. I'll leave a link to that video in the description. So, when I was actively applying to group boards, here's what my email template looked like. Pause the video and take a good look at what I've written in my email template. Then, create your own template using my current template and apply to group boards. Emailing someone once you have an email template just like I showed you is extremely easy. Even if there's a join button on a group board, I highly recommend sending an email as it only takes few minutes and there's a much higher chance of getting accepted to that group board. Now let's talk about the one thing you should never do when applying to group boards, and that's never ever message group board owners directly on Pinterest. Messaging Pinterest account owners directly on Pinterest is considered spam. Messaging 1 or 2 group board owners won't get you suspended, but if you keep repeating this mistake, you will definitely get suspended on Pinterest. The worst part is nobody usually replies to these messages, so you're basically risking your account for nothing. Absolutely nothing. Directly messaging people on Pinterest was the reason I got my account suspended the first time. So trust me on this. Don't message people directly on Pinterest. If you can't contact them through email or the join button of the group board, just forget about the group board. But if you've already made this mistake and got your account suspended, watch this video to unsuspend your Pinterest account. Wait, is unsuspend even a word? Let me know in the comments. Using group boards to reach new audiences and drive engagement was the key strategy used by Pinterest marketers 3 years ago. But now, Pinterest is reducing the distribution of pins to new audiences through group boards. The reason Pinterest decided to do this was simple. Pinterest originally wanted group boards to be a place where contributors share ideas that help the average Pinterest user and become a one-stop shop place for a Pinterest user's needs. For example, you browse Pinterest for home decor ideas and follow a group board that fits your needs and comforts. Now, all the ideas from this group board will get populated on your Pinterest account. This will get you to stay on Pinterest for a longer time. But what happened is spam took over, and today we see group boards with 500 or even 2000 contributors spam pinning pins each day. Contributors ignore pinning limits and other rules set by group board owners, and this creates bad practices in the group board. All this leads to a messy place with low engagement, no regard for rules, and not so good user experience for the average Pinterest viewer. But not all group boards are spammy. There are golden eggs in every niche. All you need to do is search for it, click on the join button or email them and wait for them to get you inside their group board. Once you're in, start pinning and following the rules set by the group board owner. So is this the end of group boards? As long as you'll join group boards with fewer contributors and focus on keywords or a specific topic related to that group board, you'll see some positive results. Don't heavily invest your time in the group boards you join, as they aren't as effective, but that doesn't mean it's useless. Every time you share a pin on a group board, contributors look at your pins and repin your pin if they like it. What I do is open the Pinterest app on my phone, pick an underperforming pin and share it to a few group boards. That takes about 2 minutes of my time. You can do this every day to increase the number of saves and clicks to your pins. Growing your Pinterest account is obviously important, but what's more important is making money, and it all starts with growing your email list. Lucky for you, I have a video talking about the best ways to grow your email list using Pinterest right here. You know what they say, the money is in the list. Cha-ching! Subscribe and see you in the next video.